So, let's talk about one of the biggest movies of the year. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm going straight into spoiler territory, of course, because it's been out for weeks now, months even, and it's one of the biggest movies of all time. In fact, I think it just crossed the billion mark. It's probably no, it did that like right in its first week or first 2 weeks. That's impressive, and I gotta say, all of the praise this movie is getting is well deserved. I'm a big fan of the Deadpool franchise, but I'm more a bigger fan of the X-Men franchise. X-Men was probably the first comic book movie I watched. It came out in 2000. Yeah, it came out in 2000. I just was a little kid, and just to see Hugh Jackman 24 years later still performing the role of Wolverine, it's 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 so mind-boggling. I really don't know what to say. Um, so I'm grateful for that. So let's get into the movie. Let's go straight into spoilers. Deadpool is just basically, we all knew that Disney bought Fox and the X-Men movies. They don't want to fully reboot his character, but they want his character to be brought into the MCU. So they did this whole multiverse thing. He's just in a separate universe, which is cool. It's the same thing what they did with Spider-Man No Way Home. So they brought him into the MCU, and he brought along Hugh Jackman. And I really have to just I'm so grateful for this movie. Seriously, I am, because so far Phase 4 and Phase 5 of the of the MCU hasn't been all that, and Deadpool really was a breath of fresh air. I'm like, okay, maybe they can get back on track. I know that they lost some stuff just putting out some bad product, maybe too much product, and with the Kang situation, but that's cool. I'm grateful for this movie. That this movie it can totally get the cinematic universe um, back on track. I'm looking forward. I am looking forward to where this movie is going. Um, Typical Deadpool movie. The jokes were there. It was really funny. The intro with that boy band song, "Bye Bye Bye," is like perfect. That's one of the best intros of all time. I don't care what nobody says. I'm grateful for it. But I'm grateful for Marvel, even Disney, be like, yo, we need a win. Let's make this movie. Let's continue the trend of making the Deadpool movies rated R. And bravo, this movie needed to be rated R. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that this movie was rated R. I don't think it would have hit as hard if it was rated R. Ryan Reynolds is basically playing himself as Deadpool. I can't. He's the character. That's him. He's playing himself, and that is him, and he owns the role every time. I'm like, yeah. The action was there. The action was there. Lots of Easter eggs and callbacks to the previous Fox movies. One thing what I loved about it. But the standout for me, of course, was the cameos. The cameos really took it to a whole other level. Let me see if I can find the clip right here. Yeah, the cameos took it to a whole other level. Let's see who we got right here in the cameo. Watching the video, see it right there. You got Channing Tatum as Gambit. Channing Tatum as Gambit. Wesley Snipes, he came back as Blade. Jennifer Gardner as Elektra. Um, um, Daphne Keane as Laura, like it. But the best one, I don't care what nobody says. The best cameo was Chris Evans. Hold on, I'll play it again. The best cameo was Chris Evans as the Human Torch. That caught me off guard because I really thought that. I was like, oh, I guess they brought him back as Captain America. As soon as he said "Flame on," I'm like, oh, yes, worth it, absolutely worth it, worth it. I would say though, and also Hugh Jackman, it's great to see him still being still like being a great Wolverine. Even like I say, this is 24, 25 years later, and he still owns it. He still owns it. It's gonna be super hard to replace him, but it's time though. It's time. I can see the age rate on his face. It's like, oh, okay, I think it's time. One thing I love about the movie, yes, it is a Deadpool sequel. Yes, it is another Marvel movie. It's another comic book movie. But watching the movie right now, its entirety, it truly pays homage to the old guard, to the old Fox movies, to the old Marvel movies. It's like and that's the beauty of it. It really was a tribute to these characters we grew up with, and it gained much mad respect from me because I'm like, yes, that 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 was really what the movie was about, and it gave these characters the proper closure, and that was, like I said, all these characters we grew up um, right on them, and it was just great to see them get that closure, and I personally felt it. Maybe y'all felt it too, but I gotta give that so Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm gonna give it an A. It's one of the best movies of the year. It's totally worth a rewatch, and I look forward to what's next in the Marvel scape. What's next in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Raiden Phase 6. Thank you, guys.